This is brought to you as a community service by the Kentucky Post. The Kentucky Post, putting Northern Kentucky first, where Tuesday you can see Marketplace Extra. There's always something extra in the Kentucky Post. Phone 421-6300 for the classifieds today. That's the Kentucky Post. This is the Pepsi U Stars of TV Bowling. Richard Skinner and Doug Martin here from Super Bowl in Erlanger, Kentucky, ready now for our Pepsi U Stars championship between two bowlers you've seen before in this program, Steve Bowling and Chris Marlow. So let's go to our lanes right now. There you can see the aptly named Steve Bowling, who carries a 197 average into this match and will pick up 2 pins in handicap, as you see.
He's quite a young bowler. Watch how he throws his ball.
Yep.
That one
a little short that time, but
that one he dropped at the foul line. He's got to get it out, a little better extension, which he normally does. But he really twirls the ball up. He throws a real nice ball for a young man his age. He bowls here at Super Bowl. He's on the traveling team here at Super Bowl, which is tied for first place in the traveling league here in Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky.
And I'll tell you what, I bowled in that as a youth here. As a member of I think the first Super Bowl team that went in the travel league, and for a youth bowler, there's no better experience than that. You get a chance to test out several lane conditions, see some different houses in Cincinnati, and bowl against some very, very good competition.
Yeah, it sure is. It's great training grounds to be a better bowler.
And now the southpaw, Chris Marlow, who brings a 159 average into this match, and will pick up 32 pins in handicap.
Here we see on replay, Richard, the ball cut right through the heart of the pins again, right through the head pin. Got a break, left just a 6'10" standing. Could have been a lot worse than that. He's using a fingertip grip, as we see, and going cross lane for the spare.
And no problem for young Chris Marlow. So both bowlers start off with a spare. Marlow qualifying with scores of 187, 157, 234 for a 578 scratch, and you add in his 96 pins worth of handicap, and he rolls a 674.
Chris is just 13 years of age, shows a nice ball for 13. Goes to Highland Heights High School.
And a bad break with the split right there.
Well,
this is the second time that Marlow's been on the program. We got a chance to see him in the second week at Glenn Schmidt's when he finished in second when he was the runner-up. And one of the problems he had was the splits. And right there, one jumps up and gets him.
Yeah, that was almost the same shot as he made on lane 8, and unfortunately this time he didn't get the break and left the split.
Well, he's picking up 30 pins in handicap from bowling in this match, and one thing he can't let happen, and that's let the splits get to his mind, because he does have a little bit of a cushion, and one bad break here and there is not really going to hurt.
Here we see Steve.
Well, almost left the bucket that time. He's come up a little short on both balls.
Yeah, but he's got a lot closer with that one, so he's getting lined up here. I would say the next frame or two he'll be in the pocket. As you say, see on replay here, Richard, he did leave the bucket. The 8 did go out, fortunately, and leaves him the 2, 4, 5, which he converts.
Bowling, as you see right there, qualify with scores of 172, and then the next two are just kind of mind-boggling for a youth bowler. 246, 267 for 685 scratch. As you can see it, Marlow with what was a 30-pin handicap advantage. Now it's cut down to just 16 pins.
Yeah, Steve is 16. He's been bowling for 8 years.
And again, just a little light, but he's getting closer, no doubt.
Well, yes, I think next ball or next frame you'll see him probably hit the pocket. He is getting closer. He's just you don't want to make too much of an adjustment at one time, which we saw one of the other bowlers do, Mike Johnson. But so he's just moving a little bit at a time, and so I would say his next move he'll probably be there.
So 3 straight marks for bowling, all spares, and here in the first 3 frames of the Pepsi U Stars at TV Bowling. We're from Super Bowl in Erlanger, Kentucky today. I'm Richard Skinner along with Doug Martin. We're glad you could join us for both our Miller Lite Stars championships and now the Pepsi Youth Championship. As you see, Chris Marlow here in the 3rd frame, and boy, he couldn't have hit a better shot if he wanted to.
No, he sure couldn't. That was a tough break for Chris. He buried that in the pocket, as we see here on replay, and had the pins flying, but unfortunately there's only 9 of them. left the 10 pin standing.
Wow, I think that shook the building, and he still leaves the pin standing.
He shouldn't have any problem being a left-hander on this pin. He picks it up.
He doesn't.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Pepsi also, Richard, for sponsoring our youth portion of the show. This is something new that BPA has developed this year, trying to get the youth involved and showcase some of the young bowlers coming up. And as you say, you started in the program here at Super Bowl, and as I did many years ago, won't mention how many, but the youth bowling is a great thing. It's on the rise, and bowling is a game that you can do your whole life. Unlike football and basketball and some other sports that when you get to be our age, you have to start dropping out of that competition. But bowling, you can continue doing your whole life. So it's a great family sport, great recreation.
And we're seeing more and more youth bowlers, and really events like this really help promote youth bowling. As you can see, both of these young men know how to play this game. Just both
Steve,
of them solid in the pocket.
As I was saying, I think Steve made one final adjustment here, and he smashed the pocket here on 8, so I think you'll start seeing him throw some strikes here. As long as he doesn't let the TV lights bother him or anything, he should be lined up now.
This is bowling's second time on this program also. We saw him in our first week at LaRue Lanes when he was runner-up, and I made the comment at the time that probably the next time he came on he wouldn't be runner-up, and he's going after the championship here in fine fashion with a double here in the 4th and 5th.
Well, he's in good shape on both lanes now. You may start seeing him really, he's got a double now, and he may string some more as we watch Chris in his approach.
Well, Chris Marlow's not going to give up without a fight. He rings up a double himself.
That was a real nice pitch. You know, we've been watching the Olympics and discussing it earlier. Although the United States is not doing too well in the Winter Olympics, hopefully we'll do better in the Summer Olympics, and bowling is going to be in the Summer Olympics
as a demonstration
the first time.
sport.
That's exactly right. So we're looking forward to that. Maybe we'll bring back some gold for the United States in that competition.
Well, Chris Marlow quickly rings up a 3-bagger, and we got ourselves a fine match, probably our best match of the day. Again, you're watching the Pepsi Youth Stars Championship, and you can catch our program on Store Cable Channel A6 on Sundays at 7, Tuesdays at 7 p.m., and Thursdays at 7 p.m. So 3 times a week you can catch this show, and a tight shot for Bowling, who, as soon as he threw it, kind of started tippy-toeing back very quickly, but he still rings up the 3-bagger himself.
Here you see on replay again, Richard, the ball, no deflection at all, drove right through the pins, drove all 10 in the pit. He's stroking now. He's smoking and stroking.
Well, both of these bowlers working on 3 in a row. Bowling looking for a 4-bagger in frame 7. And he knew it as soon as he let go. He was just kind of sitting there pumping that arm, waiting for it to settle into the pocket. And a 4-bagger for Steve Bowling.
These youth can teach the adults some lessons today.
Boy, they're ringing them up in a hurry. Now Marlow looking for 4 in a row. And he's got it.
Well, we got a barn burner going now.
Both bowlers working on 4-baggers.
There we see again on replay the left-handed ball coming in from the left side, no deflection there, cut right through the pins, puts all 10 in the pit.
Chris Marlow, frame number 8, lane 7, looking for a 5 straight strikes, and can't quite knock the 6-pin out of the way.
Came up a little tight on that one, and consequently leaves a 6.
So Marlow, who was up in this match by 17 pins, can keep an advantage if he makes this spare, and he brings it back very easily. There you can see it. Marlow's sitting on 184 through 7, working on that spare in the 8th. And as you can see, Bowling can really cut this match down with a strike right here, looking for 5 in a row. And a little light, and got a nice break there. Tripped out the 10 and tripped out the 5 along with it.
He didn't release that ball the way he has been. Got it out a little too far, and you could probably here it was rolling over the thumb hole, never got into a roll, never got back to the pocket, consequently leaves a 2-8. But Steve's no stranger to big scores. He's had a high game of 288 and a high series of 755, so he can ring the numbers up.
And a big open here in the 8th frame for him.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that. Didn't need that here this late in the game. Just let that ball go to the right a little bit too far and didn't come back to take the 2, knock the 8 out from behind it.
So now 9th frame for Bowling, the foundation frame. He can string one right here and then string him out in the 10th. He'll be sitting on 234. And a solid 10 for him.
Tough break. That was made a good shot, but the 10 wouldn't cooperate. 6 rang right around the side of it.
So now Marlow's in pretty good shape in this match if he can just stay away from open frames in the 9th and 10th.
Steve makes the spare conversion.
I'll tell you what, this match has gotten over right now. I'll tell you what, we're already into the 9th frame, and this match probably working on its 10th minute, if that. Well, Marlow came up tight and almost saw a split jump up and get him, but a nice break that time.
Yeah, he pulled that one, and you have a tendency to do that with, especially bowling on TV, and if the match gets a little tight or whatever, you have a tendency to pull the ball.
The gentleman you can see sitting to the left of Steve Bowling back there, as Marlow comes up with the spare here in the 9th frame, is Tim Gray from Mickey Link Distributing. You got a chance the last couple of weeks to see Tom Rapp from Mickey Link, but we're glad to have Tim with us here today. As you can see, a 28-pin advantage for Marlow.
Yeah, Tim works with Mickey Link and has for several years, and not too bad of a bowler himself.
And the 7 for Marlow here in the 10th frame. Well, the best Bowling can do is 224, and with that 9 count, Marlow, even if he doesn't convert, has 230, so he's locked Bowling out of this championship match.
I'm sure we're going to see Steve back again. He's quite a bowler.
Well, Marlow with that spare and with any kind of count here is going to shoot 200 scratch. If he can ring up a strike, he'll have 241 with his handicap, and that's 209 scratch. And Bowling is sitting on 200 scratch. So our 2 youth bowlers here today, like you said, are going to show the adults a little something.
Yeah, they sure are. I'm real impressed with both of them. At such a young age, they're showing a lot of composure here, especially in front of all these people and on TV.
Well, a terrific match for Chris Marlow. He'll finish with 240 with his handicap, 208 scratch. And if you don't think that's something tough to do with the TV lights and with the nice how we got on hand here today, why don't you come out and try it? That's some accomplishment for that young man, Chris Marlow. So now Bowling. And got a little tap on the 7-pin, but couldn't quite get it to go down. Again, we'd like to thank all the people that make our job up here so easy. Our executive producer, Ted Bushelman, assistant producer, Tim Eversole, the director, Mike Nichols, the freeze frame that you get a chance to see by Jay Schumacher, graphics by Donna Levinson, and Bowling will miss the 7-pin. The camera is today by John Stevens, Phil Racine, Mel Whitehead, and Bill Rolfus. And with that miss right there, 202 for Bowling, 200 scratch. A fine youth championship match here today, but it's Chris Marlow defeating Steve Bowling, 242 to 202.
How about that, sports fan?
Richard Skinner and Doug Martin back from Super Bowl in Erlanger, Kentucky. We'd like to introduce first Tim Gray from Mickey Link Distributing. You got a chance to meet Tom Rapp the last 2 weeks, but we're glad to have Tim with us. Thanks for being with us here at Super Bowl. Now, Doug, time to give out the prize money. We've got some nice prize money today.
Well, we sure do. First of all, for Barbara Morgan, kind of struggled a little bit this morning, Barbara, but I'm sure you'll have another day coming very soon. We have a check here for you for $50, so that's not too bad, a consolation prize.
Fine.
There you are. Congratulations. And next, Bonnie Ivy. Bonnie kind of had you had your ball rolling well today, but ran into a few tough situations there that you couldn't overcome, but we have a nice check here for you for $75.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you. And Sue, our queen this week, $100 check for you. You did very well today. I was really impressed with your game today. It was almost your high game ever. So,
Yeah.
to do that on TV with the TV lights, that was very impressive. So there's your check for $100. Congratulations
Thank
very
you.
much.
So real quick, I know that you knew Bonnie Ivy could string some strikes together in a hurry, and you got that nice string going. Did you just get in one of those good grooves where everything falls in place?
Yeah, I guess I did. I was really nervous until about the third frame of the first game, and then it just seemed to come together.
Well, it came together nicely for your championship. Congratulations
Thank
to you. And now let's move down to the men, and we've got some real nice prize money for our men today.
Okay. Mike Johnson, bowl with Mike on Thursday nights here, and kind of struggled a little bit today, Mike, but I'm sure you'll be back and have a check here that kind of ease the pain of $100. So
All right.
congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
And Rick Carroll. Rick, I understand you've just been bowling for a year and a half, and that's pretty impressive. The game that you have at this stage, early stage, I'm sure you'll be back again. We have a check here for you for $175. Good shooting. Congratulations.
And now the big money.
Yeah, here's our champion this week, Mike Cefaretti. And I noticed you switched equipment there, Mike, at second game. Looked like that worked a lot better for you. And we have a check here for you, $250 this week. Nice prize. Congratulations.
Mike, like Doug said, we noticed between the first match and the championship match, the change in equipment. Why the change?
I just felt better with the Mag 12. I wasn't coming out of the yellow dot real good. It seemed like I wasn't finishing good. Tightened up my shot a little bit.
And the first 6 shots you buried, that tough split you got in the fourth frame, but still, when you bury 6 in a row, you know things are going right.
Yeah, I guess it's just my day.
Well, congratulations. All right, let's slide down here. We got some scholarship money for our youth.
Okay.
And our 2 youth bowlers today gave us probably our best match. Both of them shot over 200, and I know that you were impressed with both, Doug.
I sure was. Steve Bowling's one of our bowlers, youth bowlers here at Super Bowl, and does a great job. Bowls on our travel team, and he's an up-and-coming young star. Got a few tough breaks today and ran into a tough competitor. But Steve, we have a scholarship award here for you for $25 towards your college. Congratulations. Keep up the good bowling. And Chris, for just 13 years of age, you did a whale of a job out there today on camera. I have a check here for you for $50 as our youth star this week. Congratulations.
Chris, the last time we saw you was down at Glenn Schmidt's, and you ran into a little buzzsaw named Crystal Reed. Today, you were the buzzsaw with those 4 straight strikes. I know you knew the talent of Steve Bowling coming in. What was going through your mind through the match?
Well, I came in here with a 30-pin handicap, and I had a little bit of a lead on him, so took advantage of it.
In that second frame, when you came up with the split and the bad break, you didn't let that work on your mind too much. You came back and buried 4 straight.
Yeah. Well, the split, I just came a little high on that shot and came back with some more strikes.
Well, congratulations to you, and that's nice shooting to you too, Steve. A great match with our youth. Again, this week qualifying will be held down at our TV show this week will be down at Bowl Lounge. Qualifying this week will be at Cherokee Lanes and Independence, and we hope you can get out to that. For Doug Martin and Tim Gray of Mickey Link, I'm Richard Skinner saying thank you for being with us on the Miller Lite Stars of TV Bowling and the Pepsi U Stars of TV Bowling.